fact, that was sort of the... it was what started the whole thing.
There's
And then
the
I sat
impetus?
there.
Okay.
Yeah, that was how it all started. Hello, Mrs. Ryan.
Hello.
We're already talking.
Yeah.
We already live together.
FYI.
That was the funniest thing in that meeting yesterday with Alex Bloom, where he was like, "You guys are married on the show, right?" And I was like, "Dude, all we push is authenticity. Plus, yeah. It's in our house."
That was a funny question.
I think that was what he was asking, because he was like, "People know it's in your house, right?" I think that's really what he meant.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, it was totally funny. Hello, everybody. Hello. Today is Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018. My name is Jay Ryan. There's our camera. And this is Nicole Ryan.
Hello.
We are the Ryans, and this is It's Tonight's Show.
We are married. Alex.
Let the record show. There we go, Mrs. Ryan. Oh, I like your shirt. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, both of them. They go so well together. All right, I'm Carpe Gear, and you... I can't remember where I got that. I think it might have even been Target, but I fell in love with it. I just saw it, and I was like, I just loved it so much. It looked like us. Looks like an old racing thing to me, which is why I thought it was cool, but then also just the whole Saturdays and Sundays.
I wear it and I think of you because it's like wearing a date. It was such a nice gift.
Wearing a date.
Yeah.
Like dial a date. Wear a date.
Wear love. It reminds me to be love. It's very cool.
This is Ryan. Let's start it out with some tears, shall we?
Racking it up, man. No tears.
So we have a very interesting... What did the card say? Did I even make the right card? I didn't even watch it.
It said misconnections, I think.
Fantastic. Then it is the right one. We have an interesting show today. The story is it's going to be different because we don't have a guest, and we haven't been doing shows like that lately. We had a guest booked. This is a very funny story today. I'm sorry, it just is. I have to tell it.
Yeah.
Even though he was like, "You don't have to tell it." I was like, "No, we have to tell it."
We have to.
We had a guest booked for today who... It doesn't matter. One snafu. How do I tell this? We got a guest
comedian.
No. But I'm saying storytelling wise, I know how to give them the.
Well,
I know what happened.
I'm not good at that. Then apparently in lifetime.
We had a guest booked today, and we thought the guest showed up about a half hour early because the doorbell rang, and it's either a guest or Amazon, right? And so. And what we do is basically because this is done from our home, we basically sort of like imagine Seinfeld, like they buzz in and you undo the door and then you go about your business. They just come in.
That's a great analogy.
Surprise.
Never thought of it.
yeah, surprise. What I'm getting at is we did have a female comedian booked, very good, Mrs. Ryan, and a very tall man showed up who wasn't her, but said, "Hey, I'm here," and I was very like, I know that voice. It was actor, comedian, can recognize him from everything ever. Funny guy, also brilliant. Rick Overton. Rick Overton was here. He's booked on the show next week, and he showed up a week early. He was willing. It was like, oh well, you could stay. We have so and so booked. I don't want to give the name because of the rest of the story, but we have so and so booked. You know this person. It was another comedian, and you're welcome to stay. He's like, well, if I go, I can make this audition, whatever the fuck. We're like, all right, cool. See you later. We're taping about 90 minutes later than we anticipated today because we gave the person who was booked the full benefit of the doubt treatment of, well, maybe she thought it was 1 o'clock. Well, maybe we'll get a little extra, a little padding. Anyway, no show. Total no show. So we had a killer guest booked. We had a killer guest show up that we turned away. And then the killer booked guest, whatever, snafu. I'm sure it's, something. I'm sure it's nothing important at all.
But in the meantime, good luck to Rick Overton on his audition.
Yeah, big time. I hope you book it.
It all works out. I can't wait to hear about it.
Totally, yeah.
But that was the best story.
The coolest part for me is you would recognize this guy from everything, but Seinfeld fans would know him as the Drake. The Drake from Seinfeld ended up giving us a pop-in today. We got a pop-in from the Drake.
And this is what I'll be wearing. Maybe we should wear the same outfit.
He had already had the out. We have to, I guess so. But he did. He had the whole thing. He was already dolled up, and he's like, "Well, I want to promote this show, so this is why I'm wearing this and the whole thing." We should talk about it actually, because why not talk about that? I'm dying up here. It's a show on Showtime.
Did Jim
it was a show on.
Produce it?
He was a producer on it for sure. I don't know where it actually started or who. I'm sure that his name helped get it done. Really, really neat show if you're into comedy and or you're into period pieces. It's about the Comedy Store in the 70s, pretty much like the time when Carson moved out here at the same time. It was kind of like the heyday. There was a lot of stuff going on, and everybody was competing to get on Carson because then you had a career. And it's a really, really neat show.
It's very inside baseball. It's like the behind the scenes of the comedy that you saw if you went to the shows. It's
essentially a Mitzi Shore-ish character at a Comedy Store-ish place. Yet it's neither one of those things. It's called a different thing, and it's at a different place, and the whole thing. But it's definitely telling a story that's like that one.
Totally.
Yeah.
I really love that show. Like, if only for the concept of the behind the scenes nature of it.
Yeah.
I really adore it, and I can't wait to talk to him.
Because it's a little curtain back on something we already love so much.
Yes, and I used to spend a ton of time at the store, and I'm excited. Joe Rogan just taped a special there, or I think there, but did a tribute thank you to Mitzi at the end.
Yeah, super cool.
So all of it, I love the energy of all of it.
Right. Well, Showtime didn't. It just got canceled. Yeah. So after 2 seasons. But like a lot of shows, I mean, this doesn't really mean anything these days. It could get picked up. And he certainly thinks that it could and wants to use this as a platform. What better platform? Yeah. That, you know what I mean? Than we're trying to do a classic talk show here. To get this thing going. Hey, Netflix. Hey, Hulu. Hey, whoever. If you liked the product, or if we can at least show people that, or show them that people did like the product, even the inside baseball people, sometimes that's enough because it's like, oh wait, the cool kids like it. Mm-hmm. You know, Jerry Seinfeld likes this car; it's popular, and that, you know what I mean. That works. That's a model that has been proven. So
totally, and I think people look to us for what we like and what we're watching and paying attention, and that's one of the shows that. I can't rave about enough for knowing what the business is like. And a lot of people have questions about the business, and it's, how do you explain it? It's
for comedy fans too. It's a really neat, it's kind of a parade because you get to see, people that maybe you don't know or see as much anymore, even though they're still working, like Dom Herrera, who I think of, or any of the older guys, who just have been working forever and you know him and whatever, but maybe you don't see or hear of as much. It's like, oh, here's one. Oh, there he is. Oh, there's so-and-so. Oh, there's so-and-so. And they're all kind of doing this, and some of them are shepherding the younger guys in the show and everything. Yeah. It's just a neat environment that they made for people like us who are into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
So we're hoping that maybe we can get picked up. I don't know how we should go about this. Maybe a hashtag. I don't really know. But I'm Dying Up Here. It's, I'm sure, still available on all the Showtime apps and that stuff. And maybe we can, start something.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Anyway, Rick Overton will be here next week.
Hashtag your enthusiasm for Netflix and stuff for I'm Dying Up Here.
That's so funny. It's like the longest hellos ever, and that's the story. Also, we were not here yesterday. We should address that. We were not here yesterday because we had scheduled some meetings about this stuff, about direction for the show, where it should go. We met with somebody who I'm just very excited about the potential. Yeah. I'm hesitant to say too much, but I'm excited for what might happen.
Totally.
Yeah. And just knowing that, like, oh, okay, that's the direction we're going now. We have a little bit more of like a trajectory where this show can go. Because this is neat and fun and everything, but it's going to have to start paying bills.
The beginning,
at some point.
It's the platform, and here we go.
Exactly, and we've done 100 shows to learn how to do it, and we're at a place now where we know how to do it. We're not good yet. We're getting better, but we know how to do it.
Yeah, I told someone the other day, I was like, we've been doing it while we've dialed it in. It certainly for me, like that's what it's been about, and it's been a fun dialed in process, also, which is great.
There's a book over there from House Industries. Says the process is the inspiration. It's a product I live by. Excuse me, it's a
motto.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Awesome. All right, Mrs. Ryan. That's that. East Coast feed. Shall we?
Let's please.
Time to check in with Steve Kaz, Danbury Chive, and the East Coast feed.
This is Ryan. Nick, stop playing with your phone. Such a millennial. Anyway, we just left happy hour. Nick's next to last day at work, so we figured we'd take him out. We got Dana, the usual partner in Kroll, my hetero life mate right here. We're at Two Steps. You know Two Steps well, Mr. Ryan. Mrs. Ryan will take you there next time you come out. and apparently Nick is lit. Love you guys. Random Thursday.
Oh my gosh. He's got one of those guys.
In the red shirt?
Dana.
Dana, that
His
is
partner
Dana.
in Crawl. They run the. Everyone knows what the chive is. Do people know what the chive is? I didn't know what the chive was until a couple years ago.
It's kind of sporadically into the cool kids groups.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty neat. Thechive.com. Highly recommend it. At first, I thought it was like a Maxim type thing, and I was like, I don't need that.
You're good.
I don't need that. So I was good. You know what I mean? But what it is, as well as some boob pictures, I guess, like bikini stuff, or I don't know. I don't want to paint the wrong picture, but it seems like they use a lot of sex appeal for sure, right?
I don't know.
And a tremendous amount of pretty clever comedy. And the impetus behind all of it is that it's positivity based and doing good in the world, and just everything is about greater good, being better, in self-improvement, all of it, all of the good things, while having fun and doing cool shit and looking at hot chicks and cool cars and whatever you know what I mean? Like, you still live your life, but you can do it in a better way.
Do your thing while you live your life. Cool.
Yeah. They run the Danbury chapter of that. There are franchises all around, and they run and own one, and it's a charity. I mean, they don't make any money off of it, but they give all of their time and their efforts towards this stuff, and they raise money for causes.
I knew that. I forgot. I didn't know Dana's involvement. It's cool.
Yeah, they're partners and all that stuff. They were the ones who went in on it. And
good job, guys.
Full-blown partners.
I love it. I love seeing their posts with all that stuff. It's super neat.
Yeah, I agree too. And just they're doing good. I mean, they're so happy all the time because they're doing so much good.
So much good.
They're out there partying, having fun, like blowing off steam after they just raised money for a thing, or did a pub crawl, or a charity thing, or a 5K, or all that stuff. Yeah.
It's all the same. I love it.
Apparently, I feel the need to fill today, like, because we don't have a guest. I'm like, let me extrapolate.
If anyone
if you don't
ever
know
saw
what we mean, I'll tell you.
The Bill Murray Chive poster, that was one of the first ones I saw. So keep calm and chive on, and it had a picture of Bill Murray.
It still does. It's still their logo because he's still their a spokesperson. He's involved.
Cool.
It's the Bill Murray whole thing. Be more present. Help your better man, and it doesn't just mean giving the guy $5 at the end of the freeway here in Los Angeles. It's like, do something.
What does your neighbor need? Like, if you're at the grocery store, grab something else.
I don't know. The other day I told the guy I didn't have any money, but I didn't tell him that. I just said, I love you. I'm good luck. I love you.
That was
what
cool.
I mean? Like, it was a guy who genuinely looked down on his luck. Maybe he was the best one at the shamming. I don't know. You never know. But I meant it though. Whoever you are, I love you.
Good vibes. It was very cool.
Thanks.
It's all people need sometimes.
By the way, Bill Murray is cool out there. I think that's kind of like a unanimous thing. So if you want to be more like Bill Murray, which you should, because he's cool, be more like him in this way. Don't tell his jokes. Don't act like him. Be more like him in this way.
Yeah.
That would be my advice.
That's good advice.
Thanks. You want to check in on another East Coast feed?
Yes, please.
All right, Mrs. Ryan, let's go again. Check in Steve Kaz, Danbury Chive, and the East Coast feed.
Too scary. East Coast feed coming to you live from brunch with me, Jazz, and Coraline Jones. Say hi, Uncle Jay. Nothing.
That was it.
I'm obsessed with that little girl. She's the best.
I wasn't ready for it to be over so soon.
No, he clearly was not either, but he was over it. That's the end.
Brunch with a little kid who's probably approaching toddler status now. Would that be right? 2?
Yeah.
Am I right with 2? Isn't she like 1.5?
She just turned 2, I think. Was her birthday recently?
I'm terrible with this. I'm the worst friend or whatever. I don't know, that distance. And then started doing this show. It's kind of...
It took over everything.
Fine. It's also because it's been a bit of a time, like, there's a vortex going on for me where, like, I keep saying 6 months, but it's actually almost 8 months. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a weird thing.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And I was going to say, like, all this stuff's finally happening. I'm like, it's about time. I'm very excited that it's all finally starting to be at least about to pay off in some way. Blah, blah, blah. Extrapolate. I've also gotten the water over here, so we'll just do a little bit of this.
What's in the mugs?
Can we talk for just 1 second about Ramsey Potts?
Oh,
I don't know that I've gotten more positive messages about a guest.
Really?
We've gotten a lot.
Cool.
We've gotten a lot.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
He was such a fun guy to talk to.
The energy. And I don't just mean that he has a lot of it. I mean that, trust me, in the room, and I assume you can feel it through the TV. It's real. It's real. The guy he was saying that about us. There was the technical thing, so I watched the beginning part back to make sure. And he was like saying such positive things about us. He's the positive one.
Yeah.
He's the one that deserves the praise.
Just like oozes off of him, and I collected it like a sponge.
Yeah, I'm pointing to a chair over here, folks.
That's where he's at.
Oh, we need to do that segment. We need to figure that out with what did we call it?
Something about butts.
It was, but it was I'll have to remember it. But the set basically who sat here. It was like a who's on the date.
Yeah.
Bum rush with greatness.
Yeah.
Bum brush with greatness.
Yeah, good job. That was it.
I don't know. We'll have to work that one out.
Oh, well. We have plenty of guests. I'm so excited for that when we get there. There are tons of awesome people sat there.
Totally.
I always forget who, but I'm excited to
we want to do a
it.
segment of like, 25 years ago on this date. You know what I mean? Like on your iPhone, you look up, and then that was the day that Robin Williams sat there and Sheryl Crow and whatever. It's kind of a neat thing.
Yeah.
For whoever's sitting there. Right now, it really probably doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, just imagine that. How about it?
Wouldn't that be neat?
All right, one more East Coast feed.
Okay.
Check in, Danbury Chive, East Coast feed, roll it, Hal.
Hey, Nicole. You say good morning to Jay Nicole? And you can say East Coast feed? Maybe not today, I don't know, but we're sitting here just walking on the railroad tracks on a random Saturday morning, because, that's how we do it around here. We got a little water, got the railroad tracks. Want to see a dead body? No, it's not Stand By Me. I have my daughter. It's okay. Just want to send you guys some love on a random Saturday morning. Me and Jonesy walking the railroad tracks, going to get some breakfast. She has her Batman. Say goodbye to Jay Nicole. There you go. Love you guys.
Oh.
Yep. That's pretty adorable, right?
Oh, she is adorable.
So as cute and beautiful and adorable and all of that obviously is, it tugs at my heartstrings additionally because where they are is where I used to like go fishing with my dad, literally.
That's so
where my dad
cool.
used to take me like, spring break, I would spend the week with my dad kind of thing. And we would get our fishing licenses at the town hall and go down, you know what I mean? It was a whole thing. And very positive memories in my life because he died when I was young. So I only have, X amount of them.
Yeah.
So they're locked in. They're locked in. So when I remember being a little kid, a little bit older than her, you know what I mean? So it's cool to see one of my best friends in the world,
walking your
do
steps.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
really
have it
cool.
mean something to them. And then in some way be a part of it because of this whole thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's all come around because I wouldn't be doing any of this if it weren't for my dad. So it's kind of a neat whole,
Yeah.
yeah.
Full circle.
Made my point.
Full
Why'd you
circle,
cry about
guys.
it? Well, then I stole this microphone and then the other thing and then...
Wah, wah.
All right, Mrs. Ryan, it's time to ask the question that's on everybody's mind. What's going on?
Well, okay. In knowing your head and body news, MDMA assisted psychotherapy has been shown to reduce symptoms of social anxiety in adults with autism.
Oof. Hit me one more time.
MDMA,
Which is the that's the
like
God drug,
ecstasy
right?
or whatever.
But that's the one that you take and you can get all the way to the source code. And the
Yes.
Whole, okay.
MDMA assisted psychotherapy has been shown to reduce symptoms of social anxiety in adults with autism.
It just makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say to you?
It says that it makes so much sense to me, and all it says is there's more to come in that realm. And so like I'm really grateful that they're publishing studies about it finally, and that's how like doctors get out their news. It's like their Twitter.
I happen to believe that all that stuff is developmental, and I don't mean I'm not poo-pooing. Well, I guess I am poo-pooing. I'm gonna have to figure out how to say all this. I don't like autism either. Let's start there. But
Okie doke.
Well, traditional medicine, it's a thing, it's a, whatever, and it's a birth and whatever, the defect and all these things, and the old word that the R word that we don't say anymore, all of these things that used to be all kind of thrown into the same bucket. Nowadays, we have so many different versions and different spectrums and all the things, and we understand things better. I still tend to believe that doors can still be opened. And I go to Rain Man because that's the one everybody knows, even though it's kind of outdated now. The movie is still so good. Please go watch Rain Man. Like, I'm sure it's on something, on Netflix or HBO Go, something that you already have. I'm sure. Go watch it. It's such a good movie. Because Dustin Hoffman is so good and Tom Cruise is so good.
Yeah.
I'm saying that. He's so good in this.
He was a really good actor in that. And Philip Seymour Hoffman's in that one too?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
No need to pepper it.
Sure thing. I will remove that.
Don Rickles used to say, don't press. You don't need to press. I'm just kidding.
It's good advice, Don
Rickles. What it comes down to is communication. Charlie Babbitt didn't know how to, the Tom Cruise character didn't know how to communicate with his brother, and that's where the issues were. I'm not saying that, you can just fix autism, but I do believe that it's about opening doors up here. And they are not, people afflicted, do not generally, I'm guessing, and I've done, by the way, I should say I have a little bit of experience in this. I used to be in a relationship with an occupational therapist who worked exclusively with autistic kids. The only real hard charity work I've ever done, like hands-on stuff, has been with Autism Speaks and autism charities. So I'm familiar with this, and it actually means a lot to me. In fact, I would like to figure out a way. This reminds me that we could do something for somebody, or something. We should, an autism charity, something with this show somehow.
Cool.
Oh man, I'm just going on and on and on and on to try to say that I think that there's a lot of progress that can be made on autism and Asperger's and all of the things in this same area with what we already have, with what's out there, by doing things like this. I think it's important. I think it's important because all of a sudden, this, a few years ago, there's been a rise in autism and Asperger's and all the things. To stop trying to figure out why and everything. Like, yes, and that's all good and great, but let's figure out what. Let's figure out what it is.
Yeah, one of the girls in this study, what stuck with me most, what she said was, now I realize that communication is not just about talking or speaking. I find myself taking the time to look at and study and notice emotions in herself and the person she's talking to. Like, it really opened her eyes to the other side of communication, which is what they struggle, people with autism. And the nonverbal. The nonverbal emotional parts that transmitting and receiving what that is. And so I really kudos to anyone experimenting with mental drugs that expand your perception and mind to accommodate that. I love it.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to look at it too. Even with the stuff that you just said, it's kind of like, whatever. Can we do a show on that and maybe get somebody who is really knowledgeable in here?
I would love it.
Me too. I'm asking you.
I'm on it.
Okay.
So I'll move on then.
And I'm sorry, that was very long because of me. I'm very passionate about this one, and I think that I could go much deeper than we have time for.
I thought you might be.
That's what I find myself doing. So
I thought you might be interested in it, so I'm glad, and I will follow up. We can get a guest in here. Tiny villages in Europe are going all in on tourism of living locally. And I think that is the coolest thing ever. It did seem a little bit like Funny Farm.
So is it still tourism? They just give you the experience of living locally, or is it some sort of timeshare situation where you vacation there?
No, it's the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's experiential. It's like what we used to do in Hawaii and what we used to tell people, why we used to do it that way. We go there to live with the locals, with our friends and everything else. So we would rent a house. Always we would rent a house and get our own fish and stuff at the grocery store and grill it up and whatever.
Yeah.
We still went to every restaurant on the island.
Yes, because I feel like it's like living how we would live here on a great week that we had no responsibility. You'd go do stuff, you know?
If you had time to just do it, you'd eat out every single,
totally.
Of course. Yeah.
So this village though is they're worried about extinction in their villages of everyone's flocking to big cities. So they're like, here's the thing. I'm escaping brain drain anyway of my high-powered job in the city like everyone else. I would love to build that energy here. And so they're turning abandoned places into hotels and stuff.
Wow.
And it's really neat.
So how does it work? Do people go and then they go work there, or do they just go and still have a vacation, but it's in a house and it's making
they're
their
using,
own food?
it sounds like a lot of Airbnb. So like a lot of like those people that are going to live locally somewhere, like making that experience good.
Right. Okay. Neat.
Yeah, I liked it. So go check out Italy and Spain on Airbnb. And in the vein of responsible living and touristing, the town, do you know where they shot the beach that
Thailand. Yeah, I read this too. I was fascinated by it.
They've shut down the island.
The beach was a Leonardo DiCaprio movie from like 2000.
Yes, and I love Leo. He's the reason I'm in LA, quite frankly, if I'm really honest. But that
She
movie
still hasn't let go, holding on to that promise.
It's part of my story. It's part of my story.
Totally.
But that island where they shot that movie is shut down to touristing and people, because they're giving the ecological climate
too much people.
time to repair.
Yeah, there's too much people.
Yeah.
Too much people ruining it's what happens with anything. It's just, there's a good thing over there. And, it's so much good. And we all go, and whoop, suck all the life out of it. Cocoon. I mean, you name a movie. I was more taken with the fact that it's a real place. In the movie, it's a maybe real, maybe fake, maybe fictitious sort of fantasy type land.
Beautiful.
It's almost like impossible to get to. No one has a map, but it supposedly exists type of thing. And I was blown away to find out that it does actually exist, and it is off the coast of Thailand, just like it is in the movie. It's all real.
Yeah, I was surprised also.
The only the only part that's not real at all is apparently it is incredibly easy to get to. In the movie, it's closed off. It's like a cove, surrounded by its own thing. Like you can't access the ocean. I guess it is almost like that, but there's a gap in the middle, and I guess they just CGI'd that in. But anyway, so apparently anybody just comes in and out. I
read like speedboat. You can speedboat from Phuket or whatever.
Same thing. You can water ski there if you wanted to. It's kind of like, okay. Well, also I now have no interest in going. So
same.
But they're shutting it down for a while to let, I heard, the coral reefs regenerate, and I think just in general all of the sea life.
It made me happy they were thinking that way, at least. Like, let it rebuild and grow back and whatever. Like, it is what it is. But I'm glad they're letting it rebuild. It's so pretty there from the photos.
To me, that is, if I were investing in the company behind that decision, I would invest in them because I believe that they are more future-proof than just going after the buck right now. Keep it open, just do it until it's gone. We'll make another one.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. It's not disposable stuff. It's like maintaining what you have and keeping it pretty.
That's the future
healthy.
Is going back that way.
Yeah.
I really believe that. I sound like a hippy dippy person, but I really believe that.
I believe it too.
By the way, look around. The world is sort of rebelling against us.
Oh yeah. Every kind of natural disaster known to man.
Yeah, the earth. Oof.
Okay.
There's fire coming out of the ground in places. Did you read that thing?
I read it right
before we went on. Holy smokes.
That article is
burst
nuts.
Of flames coming out of the ground that nobody knows why. The geological survey may reveal an answer.
Who knows? Okay, I'm going to switch gears. And
like the article said, though. But we've confirmed it's not Satan. That's what it was. It's not Satan with his pitchfork is what they said. Not
Satan and everything. What was that line you said? You sent me the last one? Like everything's normal.
Yeah. The last article was, whatever the last line was. Boy, see, that's too deep. Go ahead. You explain it.
I just thought it was funny that they were like, status quo. All good.
There you go.
It's all normal. Moving on.
I'll find that article and put a link up there that people could read it and know what we're talking about.
Okay. The 1986 story of the Challenger explosion is being made into a movie.
Too soon.
Really?
No.
I can't
believe
young.
It hasn't been done already.
I feel like it was a TV movie made at some point, but maybe not. But I don't.
Do you feel that?
Yes.
Did you see it?
No, I don't remember.
Oh.
Maybe?
Wow, we're hitting them all, aren't we? Do you want to spin the wheel?
Here, I'm going to remind you and everyone that I have a neurological disease and I don't remember some things. I don't know. And I was only 6 or 7 when this happened. And I know I would have seen it in school, but that would have put me in like 1st or 2nd grade. So I don't.
You're making great points. To me, it's still current because I remember everything. I remember that day perfectly, but you're totally right. To other people, it's like, which one was that? Because so much stuff has happened.
Your memory is also way better than mine, like on a baseline level. So like, I don't remember. So I'm super excited to see this movie to find out what I don't remember.
Christy McAuliffe, school teacher.
Yes. Well, that's why Michelle Williams is playing her in the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Which I think
we like her.
I love her.
She's very cool. Yeah.
She was married to Heath Ledger, I think. Matilda's mom.
She definitely was. Do you think?
I know
or you
that.
think it's Matilda's?
I know it's Matilda's mom.
Okay.
I'm just super excited about this project for about 1,000 reasons. And then the last one, someone else I adore in our business, Kim and Brad Paisley opened up a free grocery store outside of Nashville after an experience they had in Santa Barbara, volunteering, and their kids volunteered at a grocery store similar to provide people with life things that they need with dignity. It's the coolest idea, and I love her from Father of the Bride.
Huh. She's the daughter from Father of the Bride.
Yes.
He's the country singer, right?
Yes.
And I understand all about the experiences. What are they doing? How are they giving back? They're giving people.
They're opening.
I understand that they opened this place because
Okay.
of an experience somewhere else. But how are they giving back?
Free groceries.
Oh, it's free.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I don't know. The article was not definitively about the finances. It was more about the energy
that's
they're giving to the
incredible.
community of like, you have some dignity. It's at a bridge.
That's
it's not
incredible.
forever. We know that it's not forever.
Yeah, if you said that, I'm sorry I missed it. That's incredible. I don't know how they're doing it, but who cares? They're doing something pretty amazing.
Yeah. So I love them for that. And that's the end.
That's it. That's been what's good. Wait, nice positive note. That's been what's going on. All right, Mrs. Ryan, now is when we would normally take a break and bring our guest in, but it's almost 2 hours after the call time the guest was given, and I don't think she's coming.
Nope.
I would, however, though, like to point out that we will not be here tomorrow either because we have some meetings scheduled that we're both very excited about, also show-related stuff. And so that leads us to Breakfast Club on Friday. We were having some meetings yesterday. Boy, it's a very top secret show. Top secret. Can't tell you anything. Having some meetings yesterday, and it brought up some old clips that we needed to, whatever. There was some showcasing of blah, 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 what we do and what we're capable of. Anyway, these clips came up, and I said, well, I haven't seen these in forever, and they are cute. Yeah. Let's watch them. So I put them in the thing, and you want to see them here?
I'd like to see one of them at least.
Yeah, we're going to, no, it's... Okie doke.
This is me. I'm a mess.
Well, yellow car needed a wash. Definitely pretty wet. But I'm thinking no snow. It's like 52 right now. I'm thinking we're going to be okay. So, hi, Mrs. Ryan. So we're heading up now. See you in a few. Well, we had to stop at the helipad because this weather.
It's pouring rain.
I don't know if it's pouring or not. It's more misting. She likes to make everything. You're a embellisher. That's what you are. You're an embellisher. It's the writer in her. But man, come on! This is awesome! See up there. And then there's when the first few show up at Newcomb's, and you get this. And we've got a bunch of people coming. So Danny, wake up. Danny, wake up. Darren, wake up.
Well, Danny finally came and opened the door to tell us no. Newcomb's is closed today. Boy, would that have been nice to know, talking about it on the podcast, inviting people and having people come up. Apparently they put it on their Facebook page. I reached out on Instagram, but Newcomb still lives. What's that?
Nobody goes to Facebook.
Agreed. All right, you live, you learn.
Where are we going?
I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out. Bye. With the lemons, you make the lemonade. We have gotten a bunch of our people, not everybody, but a bunch of them together. And we're gonna go to Patty's in Burbank. So, we'll see you all there. There he is. What's up, you guys? Boom, hi. We're all going to Patty's in Burbank. See you there. There's one guy who really wanted to go to Patty's. That's him. Gotta be on like 397 at this point in that car.
Okay, so wait.
That's good.
Possible
Next we have,
400 that we were talking about.
That's a crappy signature button. There we go.
again.
That's right.
Sign it again.
Did you sign your book?
Yeah. I love that one.
Love that one.
Even though it's kind of a fail because, like, oh, the Breakfast Club didn't work out. You know what I mean? We ended up bringing it somewhere else. The
Yeah.
only time that ever happened.
Yeah. I just love our group, though.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was the
100%.
neatest little video.
Well, that was the go with it part.
Yeah.
So let's cut over to one that did work. It's much shorter, but since you're so concerned about the time, a little bit shorter. Here we go. Roll it, Hal. It's all official. Derek, leave your keys.
So Derek, you want my keys?
Yeah. Good luck, George. You're clear. Have fun, guys. Derek's out with George. Just saying. Congratulations, 356 drive.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fun.
So Derek is going to try to come this week. I talked to him last night, which would be cool because we actually haven't seen him up there in a bit. He's been
Yeah,
he
it's been a while.
moved. Yeah, he's been doing a new job. He's got the movie come out. I mean, he's been so stinking busy. Plus, he's been doing so much Porsche stuff. He did the Momo thing, and he's all over the place. So I'm hoping to get to see him on Friday, which will be
so
fun.
good.
George, the other guy from that picture, is in, I don't even know where he is now. I have to check the Instagram today, but he's doing a year-long motorcycle trip down to the point of South America.
I miss him. I love it. I love
Like the
watching the
furthest-
travels. Like
Yeah.
way down.
It's amazing. I mean, he's posting everything for obviously the adventure photos, and he had already went through a set of tires, you know, and but the food that he's eating
Yeah.
and the places he's staying and the jungles he's driving through, just amazing stuff. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So happy for him. It's just delightful. So one of those guys probably will be there, and one definitely won't. But
Can't wait.
but that's Breakfast Club up at Newcomb's Ranch. So if you want to, and you got a Porsche, or if you just are into Porsches and want to come check them out, come on up. It's Friday morning. It's really easy. They open at 9. We get there around then, and everybody drives at their own pace. There's not a rally or anything like that.
Not a thing.
Yeah, it's exactly it. It's the not a club breakfast club, but it's not a club. All welcome. You know.
Yeah. It's
Just
so
be
much
cool.
fun.
Like leave your troubles at the bottom of the mountain. That's the only thing we say. Leave your troubles somewhere else. Like, don't come in. Woo, woo. Like everyone is up there because they have the ability to separate from that stuff for a few hours. So please don't bring it.
Made the time, like carved it out, so it's really
That's
special
what I mean.
to a lot of people.
That's what I mean. A lot of effort is made to make this part of their lives, quite frankly. So don't be a buzzkill. Don't ruin it. All right, Mrs. Ryan, on and on and on. Love you so much. See you next week.
Love you back. See you next week.
Bye.